I have done everything you asked, my angel.
Did anyone see you coming in here? A big-time land developer like myself can't be seen to be in bed with the local trust council.
How long must we pretend that the rivers of our ecstasy do not converge in yonder bay of love?
You mean the new Marina del Trum?
You promised to name it after me.
Just business, Miss Gayfeather. Besides, if I named things after all the people I had promised.
You mean the Trailblazers Incorporated Memorial Cairn Project?
Donor with the half-boner name of Shame Project.
Couldn't you just make a bigger plaque at the trailhead?
I can't have the potential buyers up at Melania Wins
Melania Win?
thinking they are buying next to a memorial park.
But you promised me immortality if I delivered the zoning over to you.
Not fast enough, my little soft-shell crab.
But I'm getting more pushback than I bargained for.
I've got to unload this turkey before they find out that 40-year-old water survey was bought and paid for by that proto-developer, Frank Ney, hallowed be his name.
But I have figured out a way to double the number of homes you can build on the subdivision.
You mean that horseshit about affordable living for the poor?
These half-wits will eat it up. We've even got a survey so they think we actually want their input.
But what about that bullshit ferry lineup?
I have my people at the ferry committee stumping for a change of location.
You'd better do something, my little jellyfish. First of all, my potential investors aren't necessarily going to want to rent to pissant locals in these caretaker cottages next to the mansion.
Perhaps we could talk the locals into some sort of indentured servant agreement.
You haven't even been able to talk the locals into that bullshit math in the density transfer.
I have at least 200 supplicants in my Rolodex.
Out of 4,000 permanent residents.
But these silverbacks are retired, mostly city folk with an axe to grind and time on their hands.
But it is the same people publicly stumping for the density transfer, the ridiculous trail extension project.
I think the idea is darling.
I thought I made it clear on the last go-around. I don't want a bunch of airhead retired do-gooders staring at my bulldozers from some lame trail while I'm trying to denude that slope for potential building sites.
You could put up some traditional construction hoarding with darling little sidewalk superintendent viewing portals. All busybodies love to be part of the building process.
Did someone start a rumor that I am building a Tim Hortons where the ferry lineup used to be?
This place runs on rumor, but it wasn't me.
A Starbucks, yes. Maybe we should run that up the flagpole and see if anyone salutes.
I am throwing as many Hail Marys as I can without getting caught with my hand in the cookie jar.
Aren't you concerned someone is going to catch on to the obvious overlap?
I know what you're going to say. That all this rezoning and shifting around of the ferry lineup from in front of your properties.
And shifting them to in front of other people's properties.
Not to mention shifting potential subdivisions from an area where our base is.
To an area far away from my personal private property.
To an area that has greater sales potential.
And if that incentive I gave to the harbor caution bears fruit.
We'll tie the new subdivision in quite brilliantly with the new private marina next to the ferry landing.
Did you think in this moment of pre-celebration, I would gloss over your involvement?
It's not just me.
With that totally lame-ass architectural school class project.
I had to do something.
Ridiculous vision for the town center.
If the young people think we are asking for their input.
Which we are most certainly not.
Please don't let anyone hear you talk like that.
I am omnipotent.
It's all I can do not to jump your bones right now.
Compose yourself, Miss Gayfeather. You're going to need that ill-placed sex drive to con your fellow trust members.
I thought we had them in the bag.
There are too many prying eyes to make an outright purchase right now.
Well, I think I've caught the little horny eye of the town planner.
Sure, Miss Gayfeather, you go with that.
You seemed troubled, my little castle of love.
I can't help wondering what Donald Trump would do in a situation like this.
He'd be playing Rump Ranger. With Vladimir Putin, and you named my bay after him.